Okay, in part one we covered the intro. Now we're going to do the part where he sings. So look, I do it here. You think, because I'm not moving, but I've seen him do it here, so I'll probably show you that bit. Against against my better judgment, I'll come to show you the easiest way. But anyway, I have seen him do it there too, but more this way. Anyway, let's do what I've seen him do. So we're going to start on the 5th fret of the D string. So you do that twice, ba ba ba, which is the 8th fret of the D string with your little finger. With your 3rd finger, you're going to play the 7th fret of the G string, and with your index finger, you're back to the 5th fret of the G string. So it's okay. So you think you got it all set up. Okay, so what that is, it's more of that kind of rhythm, is the 5th fret on the D, to the 8th fret on the D, to the 5th fret on the G, and back to the 5th fret on the D. Now we do that here, which I think is quicker. But anyway, so that's the first bit. You think you got it all set up. You think you got it. So that part is 5th fret on the A string, to the 3rd fret on the D string, to the 5th fret on the D string. Okay, so I do that with my 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the A, my index finger on the 3rd fret of the D, and my little finger on the 5th fret of the D. And the reason I do that is it lets me get my ring finger back onto the 5th fret of the A string for this chromatic run that goes down from there. 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the A, index finger on the 3rd fret of the A. So that's okay. So I'll just show you that again. Okay, so from the top, now this little thing here. So that's the 17th fret on the G string, 15th fret on the G string, 2 of those to the 17th fret on the D string, and you just little variations of that. We'll do them. Actually, I'll show you that one later on. So, and then he's back to charm everyone you see. Now you know what's next. That's the same. This is this killer run that when everyone heard it, they nearly crashed the car. There's like that one right there, which I fluffed there. I'm going to show you how to do that next. So let's. There's a good place to stop. Right. So here's this run that's really one of the showstoppers of this whole thing. So another thing to mention, I've seen him do it here as well on the 10th fret of the A string. Now, that gets you in place for this next run. Anyhow. So this run slowly is. Okay. I do it slightly different because, again, I'm small fingers and I find that last section hard to get to this B flat. So I have a workaround. I get here instead, and I'll show you how to do that. But the riff starts on the 7th fret of the G string with your 3rd finger. Now, again, he could be playing this because it's just so quick, I don't know. But what I do is I hit that note there, and that lets me get to the 5th fret. So I'll just show you real quick. 7th fret on the G with your ring finger. 8th fret on the D with your little finger. And then you're going to go to the 5th fret of the G with your index finger. Right, so from the top again. 7th fret on the G, 8th fret on the D, to the 5th fret on the G, and you're going to slide that down to the 3rd fret on the G. So from the top. Okay, now as I say, I don't know how he's actually doing it. It goes by so bloody quick. I do know he ends up, when I see any of the videos, he ends up here. this is just how I do it. And my method of it, instead of playing that there, is it makes it easier for me to get to that bit. Okay, so from the top, but that's where we are. Okay, the next part is, so that's a pull off. Put your little finger or your third finger, I prefer the little finger, on the 5th fret of the D, and you pull off to the 3rd fret on the D. So from the top, and now this next part is you get either your 3rd finger or your little finger. I'm going to say little finger onto the 3rd fret of the A string, and you're going to slide up to the 4th fret and back down. Right, and then hit the 1st fret with your index finger on the A string. So that's, now because I find that hard, what I do is I go and I hit the B flat, which, you know, some people might think that's harder, and but just whatever. I mean, that's a long way down for me, you know. So anyway, from the top. Okay, so not so bad. And what I would suggest is play it slow. Till you get it, and only increase your speed till you have that under your hands, and take it up a couple of beats a minute at a time. And overshoot, actually, if you have one of these practice tools, like Best Practice is a good one for Windows. I don't know of any for Loopman, I think, for Mac. You can set the tempo, and what I would do, or what I have done, set it at 65 beats a minute, and 65% of the actual time, and then play it and play it and play it, and increase it to say 67 and up to 70. But I overshoot. I go to 110, so that when I play it at 100, it feels slower than I'm used to. Now that doesn't last long, but it's long enough usually. See, I found it hard. Okay. Good place to stop. We'll do them bits next. Now, the next part is, hang on, I gotta get this into shot. Okay, so you've been playing madly. You've been playing madly with every man in town. So, okay, so this is one of these things where it's the same here as here. So I'll show you. On the 5th fret of the A string, play twice. Then you're going to go to the 7th fret of the G. Right? To the 7th fret of the D string with your 3rd finger. Your index finger then goes to the 5th fret of the G. And your 3rd or little finger goes to the 7th fret of the G. So it's, then you're going to take that whole thing we just did down to the 3rd fret and do the same. But this time it's 3rd and 5 instead of 5 and 7. So 3, 5 on the G, 5 on the D, 3rd on the G, 5 on the G. So ba-ba-da. And back up again, and we're going to slide up from the 10th fret on the G, and you kind of come down. Okay, so say 10 on the G to the 12th on the G and back down with your index finger. At the same time you're doing that, hit the 12th fret of the D string with your 2nd finger and slide up to the 13th fret. Okay, so it's, now reach across and with your little finger hit the 15th fret on the A. So, and with your ring finger hit the 15th fret on the E. So, and a slide down. So from the top, that bit is 10 to the 12th on the G and back down. And at the same time, slide up with your second finger from the 12th to the 13th on the A. Slide from the 12th on the, sorry, that was the D. Slide from the 12th, the 14th to the 15th on the A, to the 15th on the D, on the E. That was a mess. I was making saying all the wrong strings. We'll try again. So 10 to 12 on the G and back down. Get your second finger on the D, go from 12 to 13 and slide from the 14th fret to the 15th fret on the A with your third finger, and then with your second finger hit the 15th on the E and slide down. So it's and actually if you listen to it, there's kind of rhythm in there. It's hard to pick out. I think it's, but if you do that, it's close enough. Okay, so then we're going to go from the top. Okay, next part is you're going to play the 8th fret on the A string. One of these days, well, 6th fret on the A string, you'll play. And 2 again on that. We're going to jump the octave now. Get your little finger on the 8th fret of the G and slide. Okay, so that whole part is these days while you're at play. Octave on the 8th. To the 8th on the A. To the 10th on the A. Okay, and then you're back into this. All right, so that whole section is when these days while you're away. Same again to there. Okay, I'll take a break there because there's another little bit. Okay, so over the section where you're saying, I'm gonna take a playhouse down. So after that bit, one of these days while you're at play, you're gonna catch you. So your ear tells you that he's gone, but he's not, he's doing it an octave up. So we're gonna go to the 19th fret on the G string. It's nearly as high up as you can kind of go on a Fender with any comfort. And we're going to slide to the 17th fret. So third finger, 17th fret, onto the 15th fret with your index finger, to the 17th fret on the D with your third finger, to the 15th fret on the D with your index finger. So it's... And then he goes all the way up the other end of the board for the next part to the 3rd fret, hammering on to the 5th fret on the A, to the 3rd fret on the D, to the 5th fret on the D. That bit that we did earlier, and then he's back up again. Okay, that's that little section there, and then all we've got is that bit. That bit, which I just can't get my hand in there. Anyway, we'll do that bit last.